Freshies! Welcome back to another episode of Learning Mathematics here at DepEd TV. I am Teacher Belle, ang iyong kaduo sa Math 7. This is a new day for fun and exciting learning in mathematics. Together, let's be Math Tibay, Math Talino, and Math Galing! As we are starting with today's task, I want you to bring out your pen and your self-learning module. Ready? Lo and behold, it's time for us to explore the concept of properties on operations of integers. Now, let us have a real quick review. Let us see if you really mastered the lesson about operations on integers. This will help you understand our lesson for today's episode. For your activity, you have to perform the indicated operations by applying the rules that you have learned. Write the letter that corresponds to your answer in the decoder. You have 20 seconds to accomplish this activity. Our math trivia question is: what is the mathematical name of the division sign? Timer! You can do this, Freshies! No pressure. You're doing great! Let us start answering. For S, 4 minus negative 5 is positive 9. For O, negative 16 plus 9, the answer is negative 7. For L, negative 2 times negative 4, the product is positive 8. For E, negative 42 divided by 7, the result is negative 6. For B, the quantity of negative 10 plus 16 minus the quantity of 12 minus 9, the answer is positive 3. And lastly, for U, the quantity of 36 divided by negative 12 times 3, the answer is negative 9. Now, what is the answer to our math trivial question? What is the mathematical name of the division sign? Obelus. You did great! It's good to know that you have already mastered the rules in the operations of integers. Now consider these examples. Number 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 2 plus 1. Number 2. 3 plus 0 is equal to 3. Number 3. 2 times the quantity of 3 plus 4 is equal to 6 plus 8. What property is illustrated by each example? Throughout our discussion, assume that the numbers represented by the letters A and B are integers. Let us start discussing the different properties of integers. First property, the closure property. Two integers that are added and multiplied remain as integers. The set of integers is closed under addition and multiplication. The closure property of addition for real numbers states that if A and B are real numbers, then A plus B is a unique real number. Let's have an example. Adding two real numbers produces another real number. 15 plus 16 is equal to 31. 31 is a real number. The closure property of multiplication for real numbers states that if A and B are real numbers, then A times B is a unique real number. For example, 12 times 6 is equal to 72. 72 is a real number. The second property is the commutative property. Changing the order of two numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change the value. That is, a plus b is equal to b plus a, and a times b is equal to b times a. For example, 2 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 2. Since 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, they are both equal. 10 times negative 2 is equal to negative 2 times 10. Since 10 times negative 2 is negative 20, same with negative 2 times 10, which is negative 20, they are both equal. Take note that subtraction and division are not commutative. For instance, is 7 minus 4 equal to 4 minus 7? It is not. Since 7 minus 4 is 3 and 4 minus 7 is negative 3, hence subtraction is not commutative. In division, is 1 divided by 2 equal to 2 divided by 1? Since 1 divided by 2 will yield to 1/2 and 2 divided by 1 is 2, they are not equal. Hence, division is not commutative. Let's move to the next property. Associative property. Changing the grouping of numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change its value. The quantity of a plus b plus c is equal to a plus the quantity of b plus c. And the quantity of a times b times c is equal to a times the quantity of b times c. Take note that operations inside the parentheses should be solved first. For example, the quantity of 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 2 plus the quantity of 3 plus 4. Let us check if both sides of the expressions are equal. The quantity of 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is equal to 2 plus the quantity of 3 plus 4, which is 7. Then 5 plus 4 is 9. That is equal to 2 plus 7, which is also equal to 9. Therefore, both expressions are equal. Next example, the quantity of 4 times 3 times 5 is equal to 4 times the quantity of 3 times 5. Let us check if both sides of the expressions are equal. The quantity of 4 times 3 is 12 times 5 is equal to 4 times the quantity of 3 times 5, which is 15. Then 12 times 5 is 60. That is equal to 4 times 15, which is also equal to 60. Therefore, both expressions are equal. Take note that subtraction and division are not associative. For example, in subtraction, is the quantity of 1 minus 2 minus 3 equal to 1 minus the quantity of 2 minus 3? This will be negative 1 minus 3 and 1 minus negative 1. Negative 4 is not equal to 2. Hence, subtraction is not associative. Let's try division. The quantity of 12 divided by 6 divided by 2 is equal to 12 divided by the quantity of 6 divided by 2. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Divided by 2 is equal to 12 divided by 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Hence, division is not associative. The next property is distributive property. When two numbers have been added or subtracted and then multiplied by a factor, the result will be the same when each number is multiplied by the factor and the products are then added or subtracted. A times the quantity of B plus C is equal to AB plus AC, and A times the quantity of B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. For example, 2 times the quantity of 3 plus 4 is equal to 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. Let us check if both sides of the expressions are equal. We have 2 times the quantity of 3 plus 4 is equal to. You just have to distribute 2 by multiplying it to each term in the expression 3 plus 4. And that is 2 times 3 plus 2 times 4. Then 2 times 7 equals 6 plus 8. 2 times 7 is 14. That is equal to 6 plus 8, which is also 14. Therefore, both expressions are equal. Another example. -5 times the quantity of 8 minus 3 is equal to -5 times 8 minus -5 times 3. Let us check if both sides of the expressions are equal. We have -5 times the quantity of 8 minus 3 is equal to. Again, you just have to distribute -5 to the expression 8 minus 3. And that is -5 times 8 minus -5 times 3. Then, -5 times 5 equals -40 minus -15. -5 times 5 is -25. And if we apply the rule of keep, change, change in -40 minus -15, that will result to -25. Therefore, both expressions are equal. Are you still with me? Now, we will discuss the last two properties on operations of integers. The additive identity property states that the sum of any number and 0 is the given number. 0 here is the additive identity. For example, 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. -10 plus 0 is equal to -10. The multiplicative identity property states that the product of any number and 1 is the given number. A times 1 is equal to A. 1 is the multiplicative identity. For example, 12 times 1 is equal to 12. -32 times 1 is equal to -32. Easy, right? Just remember, any number added to 0 and any number multiplied by 1, the answer will be the number itself. And for the last property, we have inverse property. The additive inverse property states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. The additive inverse of a number is the opposite sign of that number. That is, A plus -A is equal to 0. -A plus A is equal to 0. For example, 9 plus its additive inverse, which is -9, is 0. -58 plus its additive inverse, which is +58, is equal to 0. The multiplicative inverse property states that the product of any non-zero number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. The multiplicative inverse of a number is its reciprocal. That is, a times 1 over a is equal to 1. Take note that 0 does not have a multiplicative inverse since 1 over 0 is undefined. For example, 6 times its reciprocal, which is 1 over 6, is 1. Negative 22 times its multiplicative inverse, that is negative 1 over 22, is equal to 1. I hope that you have fully understood our discussion today because you will now try this reinforcing activity. Are you excited? Let us begin our virtual quiz. Sit, in a minute! Identify the property used in each of the statements. Choose the correct answer. You have a minute to do this. Number 1. Negative 7 plus 0 is equal to negative 7. Additive identity, additive inverse, multiplicative identity, multiplicative inverse. Number 2. 6 times the quantity of 3 minus 5 is equal to 6 times 3 minus 6 times 5. Associative, closure, distributive, multiplicative inverse. Number 3. Negative 8 plus negative 7 is equal to negative 7 plus negative 8. Associative, closure, commutative, distributive. Number 4. Negative 4 times negative 1 over 4 is equal to 1. Additive identity, additive inverse, multiplicative identity, multiplicative inverse. Number 5. 2 times the quantity of 4 times 7 is equal to the quantity of 2 times 4 times 7. Associative, closure, distributive, multiplicative inverse. Let's check your answer. Number 1. Additive identity. Number 2. Distributive. Number 3. Commutative. Number 4. Multiplicative inverse. And number 5. Associative. Great job, Freshies! You have successfully completed our virtual quiz, and I am beyond glad to know that you nailed it! If you want more practice, I prepared an online quiz to check your understanding of the lesson discussed. I use quizzes.com. You can access this using your gadget like your cell phone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer. Now, for your final task, let us apply what you have learned about the properties of operations on integers. Invite your parents or your siblings to play Grade 7. Chika na ba? Prepare a whiteboard or a paper and a marker or pen for this segment. The mechanics of this game is easy. Find a space where you can freely step to your left or to your right. Line up. Consider that you are currently standing at 0. Whoever gets the correct answer will be given positive 1, which means he or she will move 1 step to the right. And whoever got an incorrect answer or did not give any answer will be given negative 1, which means he or she moves 1 step to the left. Let's find out if you will have a negative or a positive score later. Your answers should be written on the whiteboard or paper and will be raised when the time is up. For the given situations, complete the mathematical statements to satisfy the properties given. You have 5 seconds for each items. Ready? Number 1. By the commutative property, 5 plus negative 4 is equal to... Timer! The answer is negative 4 plus 5. Number 2. By the identity property, 6 times blank is equal to 6. Timer! The answer is 1. Number 3. By the associative property, the quantity of 5 times 12 times 3 is equal to... Timer! The answer is 5 times the quantity of 12 times 3. Number 4. By the distributive property, 13 times the quantity of 2 plus 1 is equal to... Timer! The answer is 13 times 2 plus 13 times 1. And for the last problem, number 5. By the inverse property, 5 times blank is equal to 1. Timer! The answer is 1 over 5. That was undeniably great! What score did you get? If it is a positive score, congratulations! If it is a negative score, you can visit our Facebook page. Before we formally end our lesson, I am assigning you to do some additional activities on Module 4. That's it for today, but learning does not end here. On our next episode, we are going to unravel the mystery of rational numbers. Again, this is Teacher Belle, ang iyong kaduo sa Math 7. I hope we helped you become math tibay, math talino, and math